Hello. Welcome to Genesis Office Hours, episode 19, with the better than Wilson Phillips. I have got Brianna Norcross and Jessica Cummins with me today. And hello to everybody who is hanging out on the Twitter, following us at GOH Chat. So, hello, ladies.
Hello.
Word.
How y'all doing?
I think that's the official WordPress gang sign.
It is, and if you turn it sideways, it's like East Side WordPress or West Side, depending on. Yeah, never mind.
East Press? No, this is not working.
What is this, Midwest?
I have clearly never been in a gang.
I think you have potential.
I
Don't
would.
sell short.
You just have to find my body in an alleyway the first week because they'd have no use for me. Well, on that interesting note, let's.
We're a minute in and we're already talking about bodies and alleys. I love it.
Well, that's the way we roll here on Genesis Office Hours. Ladies, I would love for you to introduce yourselves to everybody. Jessica, we'll start with you.
I'm Jessica Cummins. I am Executive Vice President of Operations for Copyblogger Media and your affiliate chick for Studio Press.
Sweet. And how long have you been there?
2 years. 3.
All right.
Long enough to know better, like it enough to stay.
Bree, how about you?
I am Brianna Norcross. I do all the things that aren't coding at Reactive, mostly project management and bookkeeping, because that's about all there is. It's not development that's going on over here. So I think I've been doing this for 2.5 years, about something like that. I don't know. It's gone by quickly.
And you have a long background in like finances and accounting and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I
Numbers.
started doing finance stuff just like as an office helper at a job I had a long time ago, and then when I left there and I had kids, I had like their schedules were crazy. I was going to school too, so I had to find something to do that accommodated all those things. So I started my own bookkeeping business and did that up until I still do it. I still have clients there. I guess I probably split my time there between Reactive and Balance Virtual. So until Reactive pulls me totally away, I'll keep doing it.
Well, all right. So I am your host, Carrie Dills, and you are listening to Genesis Office Hours. If you just all of a sudden found yourself listening and didn't know what you were listening to, now you know. You can participate in several ways. If you go to carriedills.com/GOH, you can both catch the live feed there and also use the GOH chat hashtag on Twitter to send in your questions. And if you have any sorts of questions related to affiliate marketing or Studio Press, Copyblogger, need the inside scoop, Jessica is the girl to point those to. And then if you want to know about marketing, that's right, I called you a marketer. I know Bree's not traditionally a marketer.
Agree to disagree, but yeah.
In that role as you're helping market and promote your husband's, both of y'all's plugins for Reactive Studios. So let's get rolling. We had the lovely Jason Hobbs, who was ever trolling the Twitters from early this morning, has already sent in several questions. 6 to be precise. So we'll get started with those. Let's see. For Jessica, do you have a marketing or analytics tool that you just love?
Marketing and analytics, I love, purist, obviously. Google Analytics, Google Webmaster Tools, Bing Webmaster Tools, but my favorite third party is Raven Tools. Love me some Raven. They save me so much time.
All right. There you have it.
And obviously the one that's built into Rainmaker. That was a really good one, too.
Nice save.
NewRainmaker.com.
Wow. I think Brian Clark was already on the phone threatening your job until you swooped in with that little save.
That's the other earpiece that I have, actually.
Nice. Let's see. This one's for you. Okay, do you prefer Bree or Brianna?
I don't know. Just call me Bree. Bree's fine.
Bree. Okay.
So most people started calling me Bree because my husband can't pronounce my own name, so he just shortened it to Bree, and so ever since then that's my name. So Bree's fine. I don't really. Yeah, I answer to both, but I answer to most things.
You make a lot of concessions in marriage.
Yeah, you really do.
Hey, woman. Hey, you.
You. So yeah, Bree's good. Brianna is it. Don't call me Brana, Brian, Barana. I've gotten all of these. So this is why we stick with Bree.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Bree, do you have a favorite bookkeeping taxes tool that is your BFF?
Yeah. I am a QuickBooks ride or die. It's QuickBooks all the way, man. But if you're not using anything, you're just going to be in a world of hurt. Just use something. Like there's FreshBooks, there's Wave, Cashew. I mean, Xero. There's a million. Just pick one. Just have something. But I think QuickBooks will do everything most people need. Some people argue it's too much, but they've started being really modular with their services. So I think that most people can find something that fits them. For taxes, TurboTax all the way. TurboTax is my best friend.
I will +1 on QuickBooks, and I'm actually using the QuickBooks Online. I just wish they had more integrations. Zapier has a few little cool things you can set up to, like, if a payment comes through from Stripe, then generate an invoice or whatnot, or a sales receipt in QuickBooks. But
yeah, that's the biggest thing that I run into with trying to tell people to switch, is that it doesn't talk to all the things like people in our industry are using the most, which is kind of downfall.
And we don't have instant replay, but when you mentioned FreshBooks, it kind of looked like your lip snarled.
Oh no, yeah.
Okay.
I am not here to shit on anybody's software, but just not a fan. Not a fan.
And not to mention how it's just really messy on the keyboard when that happens.
Yeah, it's brand new. I just got this new keyboard. I'm not gonna.
You don't want to go soiling that. Okay, Jessica, a really serious question: is Robert Bruce's voice really that velvety, or is it digitally enhanced?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you this. Robert's not actually a real person. He was created using 15 different emotional scores that humans have when they're listening to things, and so he's actually just a program in a computer, and we type stuff in and we make him say stuff.
Wow. Okay, we'll have to send that out immediately.
Oh, that's just for the attendees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that's our Pro Plus crowd can listen and get the good scoop right here, but unless you're listening live, you don't get that detail.
Sorry.
Okay, we have a question from Matthew. What's your favorite or Genesis WordPress theme for blogging, strictly writing minimalistic?
Bree could take that one.
No, I think that's definitely a you question. I am not a blogger.
Well, design palette.
Well, right, but I think that my favorites there are tied to which ones people request the most. So I'm not really sure. Minimum, I guess. Minimum's probably the It's consistently, well, like everybody likes it. Has many purposes, so.
Yeah, as far as, like, it depends on what you consider minimalist. I mean, you could even make parallax a minimalist style. So, I think any of the themes would work as long as you're able to keep the focus on your words and present it in such a way that people want to stay there and they don't look at it and avert their eyes.
You say focus on your birds or your words?
Well, birds as well. Am I allowed to do that here? Like,
just want to.
No, your words. Your words.
Okay. Our words. Okay.
I mean, obviously, we're all about design, but really, design is the mechanism that keeps them to read your content.
No, not 1140. Is it 1140 that has the side? The header is actually running along the side.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great content-focused theme as well. That if you don't have a lot going on, it's not the most intuitive. If you have a ton of navigation, that's probably not a great option for you. But if it's just a simple, straightforward site, that's a pretty cool one.
1140 continues to be one of our top sellers. People love it.
Okay, so that brings up an interesting question. So every month the affiliates, and if you're listening and you're not an affiliate, you should be, because if you love Genesis WordPress and you're going to talk about it anyways, or recommend it, or write about it, whatever, you might as well earn a little commission for doing that. So every month the affiliates get a newsletter, and Jessica, does that come from your desk, or?
It does.
Okay, sweet. And then so the top 10 are quite literally just the top 10 best sellers in the marketplace. Okay, wow.
Yeah. Lately, Micah's been writing the newsletter themselves, but the top 10 always comes directly from our sales reports. And we thought that we started doing that a while back because our affiliates weren't sure, what would be the best push, or also, we have affiliates who are also designers, and they can draw from that for inspiration as to, what's really hot. We sell way more themes than anybody realizes.
We're going to ask you for some of those secrets. I do want to have a media correction. It was not the 1140 theme. It's the 16.9 theme. All those numbers.
The 16.9, which I love it when people say that fast. It makes me laugh.
And then, of course, Andrea has also chimed in to let me know I missed that. So that's the correction on that. Check out 16.9. I'm actually running it on one of my sites. It's a cool little theme. A fresh question in for Jessica. What's the ratio of direct sales versus affiliate sales? And I'll go ahead and just put the little asterisk that if you're not free to answer specific questions, then you can just decline to comment, and we'll make fun of you.
I can answer that in a general way, but it's important to remember that part of the reason the Genesis community has been so explosive is because we don't just have new customers, but we have a lot of repeat business as well. And friends of friends will see things, and so it's just continued to grow, and we keep the people that come in. So somebody might buy a theme, and then the next year they'll buy another one. So you've got returning customers and then new sales. And I would say just for new sales, maybe 30% are affiliates.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the industry average for comparison would be, but that seems like a good amount.
Well, most people have killed their affiliate program, so.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to try to keep up with the questions. I'll scroll back through if I miss some. I had a question. I mentioned in my latest article, I did a review of some hosts, and I mentioned the phrase cowboy coding, which I don't know if there's an official wiki entry on it, but basically what that means to me is if you're opening up your editor from within the WordPress dashboard and making changes there, or you're just on, even if you're making the better practice of FTPing instead of live editing, you're just coding on the fly as opposed to doing something in a staging environment. So that if something goes wrong, the whole world knows about it. I don't know where that phrase originated. I don't get credit for it, but I kind of like it. Being from Texas and all, I like to throw the word cowboy down anytime I can. Thanks for the polite giggle.
Yeah, courtesy laugh. That one's free.
Question from Jackie: will we see more themes before the end of the year? Let's see, we're in July, so I would sure hope so.
Absolutely. Brian Gardner just teased one today.
With the I saw the mobile first sample theme that he was teasing. Was that it, or did I miss?
Oh, we've got way more. We have way more. So Lauren, who has been working on a lot of our stuff, recently had a baby. But I'm feeling when she comes back, it's going to be full court press. But yes, we will be having more themes coming.
So how does that? Are the designs like you've got Rafal and Brian and Lauren? Like, does it just sort of rotate, or wherever inspiration falls, or how does that get divvied up?
I think yes. I'm not exactly certain how they divvy things up over on their side. That'd be a better question for Brian Gardner. But from my understanding, yeah, they just work as a cohesive team.
Cohesive team. Very nice.
We're all about cohesion. Synergy.
And, by the way, I just got to call out your background that you've got. I mean,
oh, this background here?
Yeah, the Rainmaker shirt, you've got the full logos going on. I mean, you are really, you're representing well.
It helps to be the event chick. I have this stuff sitting around the office.
Nice. Bree, a question for you. Since you've been doing the marketing for Reactive Studios, any lessons that you would care to share? Maybe something that was a terrible idea, or something that was a great idea that you'd recommend?
Well, when I kind of took over doing all the administrative stuff, I should preface this by saying we don't really have a problem getting work. I feel like a lot of WordPress people don't have a problem getting work right now. It's a great problem. So it wasn't really, marketing was not a huge concern. That said, we did think about some things like PPC stuff, especially for Design Palette. But after we tried these things, and I don't want to say I wasted money because I didn't even get clicks to waste money, but it was just a waste of time. We kind of reverted to the best marketing is good customer service and just a good product. And that's still where we are. I mean, it doesn't hurt that Design Palette is on StudioPress. Like, I don't need to market because it's there and the work is kind of being done for me. I'm not going to compete with the keywords for StudioPress and Genesis because I don't have the budget or the knowledge to beat those people who are doing that, and it would just be like a war with yourself, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like we cheated there. We got really lucky, and so I don't have to do marketing for that. Reactive, we just consistently, a lot of the business, as I'm sure happens with you too, Carrie, is just good referrals or repeat clients who you have just a long-term relationship with. We don't really have like a lot of churn. We have long-term relationships with people. So from that end, marketing, not really applicable, I guess. But the best thing you can do is just have a good product or good services and be a nice person and be helpful and useful to the community for free or not free. Just be useful and helpful and nice all the time.
And that's the quote of the day. Be nice, be helpful.
Nice.
That's how I met Andrew. He saved me twice.
He was nice and helpful.
I know.
He's nice and helpful all
This is
the time.
before he met you.
It was actually my first I'd seen Norcross online, and of course just thought he was freaking brilliant, and then I guess I'd tweeted about a problem or something, and he popped up and was like, how can I help? And you know, all of a sudden was on a Skype call with me, and I'm like, holy crap, I don't even like the Skype call with people I know, let alone...
He really, I mean, he was doing this before we met. He was doing this before we met, and that is how he built his entire reputation and client base, is just by going out and helping people for free with, you know, the hope, I guess, that it would turn into paid stuff back when he had a full-time job as well.
Cool. I want to talk more about that later in the way that we can add value as developers and service providers beyond paid things. But let's get back to some questions. We had another one from Matthew on what is your favorite site running Genesis besides any of your own. I really love Adam Clark, who I had on here a month or so ago. I think A.V. Clark. I'll have to look up his site, but he did a really beautiful modification of the Parallax Pro theme. It's kind of one of the first ones to come to mind. Adam, I think your site's down, buddy. If you're listening, do y'all have any favorites or just really beautiful examples of Genesis sites?
I don't really spend a lot of time looking at sites, unfortunately. I work on the internet, and I don't spend a lot of time on the internet. So, Jess, got any ones?
You know, I see so many amazing websites. I mean, obviously, my very favorite is CarrieDills.com, but there are many that are a close second.
I hope not. So this morning there's something. Granted, my entire site bugs the crap out of me. It's just it's crusty and some things don't work very well. But anyways, my sign up form looked like total dump in mobile. And apparently it's been bugging your husband, Bree, for a long time because he sent me a code. He asked me this morning, he goes, "Ma'am, will you do me a huge favor?"
No.
I was like, "Sure, buddy, what's up?" You know,
This is yeah.
test something, you know, whatever. I'm game. And then he sends me a code snippet. And he's like, please add this to your site. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
I would say that like 90% of either plugins that you see released, whether the repo or not, and clients that end up having bigger chunks of services with us is because he got annoyed at something on their site and told them. Or he got annoyed at something that he couldn't do, so he made a plugin for it and released it for everybody else. That's pretty much how it goes.
Well, we've got lots of questions, or they're liking the questions about favorite themes, and I'm not sure now if we're talking about customized or straight out of the box, but Shaybox Foodie theme is, like, how many months running has that been at the top 10 or at the #1 spot?
She's killing it, and not just with food websites. It's just a very versatile theme, and I think that's the thing, is people are looking for something that they can use mostly as is out of the box, and it stretches to so many different things.
Yeah, that's a beautiful theme. I am using it on a project right now that I'm super excited to work with. There's some other questions here, but I'm gonna just ask a couple of my own because, hey, perk being the host. But Jessica, when it comes to the tricky waters of being an affiliate and not being not being a douche about it, so disclosing your affiliate links, not doing underhanded or sneaky things. What about when people take, because I've seen it many times on the web where people are taking Genesis or StudioPress themes and giving them away for like $5 on Fiverr or something ridiculous like that. What's the response to? How do you respond to that?
Well, that is there. It's a very gray line. People who are selling our themes for $5 on Fiverr are violating our terms of service. GPL will let you freely share it, but you can't resell. So that's basically what they're doing. It's against our personal terms of service. So in those particular cases, our legal team just gets it gone. Okay. But as far as what you were originally talking about, not disclosing links, I feel like they're really hurting themselves. When people will come to me and they'll say, you know, I'm promoting your stuff and I'm not making any money. Most of the time I'll look at their website and they just have this tiny little disclosure somewhere that says, some of the links we share may be affiliate links, but they're missing an awesome opportunity to say, look, if this was valuable to you, please, this is an affiliate link. If you click this, it doesn't cost you another penny, but you're supporting me for the creation of this website. I mean, I feel like you have a great opportunity as an affiliate to be honest with your readers about what it is, because otherwise they won't know to click it. And then, you know, they'll go to Google and, you know, screw around and click a whole bunch of other things. And you were the reason that they bought it, but they didn't know. So I feel like it's not even so much as being douchey as much as missing a real opportunity to help people help you. You're going to all this trouble to create this amazing content. Let people thank you by buying it through your link.
I agree, and I've actually had, there was a guy that emailed me this week, and he goes, hey, heads up, I'm interested in buying this. Your affiliate link is broke. Can you fix it so I can buy it through your link? And of course I was like, fixed, and thank you. Like he could have just bypassed me entirely, but the fact that he found the information I provided valuable enough to take an extra minute or whatever to give me the heads up on that, I thought was really cool. So yeah, so +1 for being upfront when you're sharing affiliate links. And Bree, you guys have an affiliate program for Genesis Design Palette?
We do, yeah.
Yeah. How's that? Have you found
it goes well? We use ShareASale, which I think is awesome. I was a little afraid at first, like I'm going to dump this money into it, and is it going to be terrible or even give us a return on investment? But it's great. It's successful, I think. It's probably, like Jess, you said something like 30% affiliate. I think our number is about the same, like 25, 27%, something like that. But close, and that's good because we want you to make money. I make money. People get a cool product. It's just win-win-win. I don't know why people are closing down their affiliate programs.
Win-win-win? Like www?
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
So I don't know why people are shutting down their affiliate programs. I don't really pay enough attention to notice that, but Jess is saying, so it must be true because Jess said it. So.
Well, it is true, and I think a lot of the time is because they don't use somebody like ShareASale. And so what you've heard other WordPress-related companies saying is it's because of fraud and spam. And when you work with somebody like ShareASale, no, they're not the least expensive, but they're going to save you from all of the spammers and fraudulent people. I mean, you still have to watch it, but they watch it too.
Right.
So you get
we definitely have had to watch it. There's people try to pull stuff, and that's just the way it's always going to be.
Yeah. If you can make a buck, I mean, we would say, why would somebody do that for $10? Well, in some parts of the world, $10.
Right.
Like.
Yeah, $10 is a lot of money. But even if you don't use ShareASale, there's Pippin's Affiliate WordPress, which I haven't switched just because we're already set up with ShareASale, but I've heard nothing but good things about that. So.
Yes, Affiliate WP. So you can check that out.
And soon Rainmaker.
Right.
Oh, soon Rainmaker.
Did I say it again?
Oh, all right.
Did I pimp it again?
The world wants to know when, like, what's the roadmap, if you can share, that themes, third-party themes will be available within Rainmaker? I might be interested.
There are ways that you can submit right now.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to talk.
Absolutely. You can submit them for review right now. But it's closed. Basically, we're just, we're finishing up the beta phase right now.
Okay.
So, soon, but they will always require review.
Always subject to review. Okay.
Yeah, just because we don't want any old theme going up there. We want to make sure it's good.
Well, phew, I'm glad I made the cut. A question about Synthesis from Jason. So I was railing on Synthesis a bit. Not railing, that's a strong word, but they don't have a staging area, and as a developer working on client sites, that's a big frustration. So is that a plan to incorporate that in future iterations, or what's going on there?
Bree?
I'm sorry. See, this is why I can't have.
I'm messing with you.
Okay, good, because you saw that look in my eyes.
Yeah, I did. I was just calling on the sleeping chick in the class.
Yes, that was me. It's like 2 screens is one too many. Okay.
Are you playing solitaire right now?
She kind of is. I bet you. She's sitting there playing Minecraft.
Playing Twitter. Damn it.
The answer is that's probably the most requested question that we get from developers. So yes, we are working on it. It is happening. We're taking it very seriously.
Cool. We anxiously await that feature. I think it will. The product itself is wonderful, but I think that will be a huge attraction for developers when that feature is available.
We agree.
Let's see, a question. Well, first of all, Bree, your hair is amazing. It's getting love and on the internet.
Thanks. This is something born out of laziness. Like, how can I not do my hair every day? Shave 60% of it off. That's the good way to go.
Well, hey, at least you left some. I probably would have just
Some of it. I know.
gone.
Because when I was a teenager, I did the shaved head thing, and my mom was not a fan. Now that my mom is older, I feel like maybe I should not give her heart attacks all the time. So, I left some.
You like party.
Thanks.
Didn't you? Yeah, I saw you tweeting this week that somebody in a store didn't like your hair and felt the need to pay you.
Okay, this is, I don't know if I should say this. It's not savory. Like, how not savory can I be?
Weird. How many stories from you have not been savory?
Usually my stories are totally rated G.
Let me just do a quick announcement. If anybody needs to get up and take a potty break, do it right now because we're about to get something a little bit unsavory from Bree. Okay, go.
Yes. Okay, so I'm in the store and I'm just walking like it was like right by the entrance. And I'm walking by and this guy goes, "Oh, hey, I like that haircut except it's way too short." Like I fucking care, frankly. So I said, "That's nice. Do you know where I can find the fucks to give? Is that aisle 5 next to why don't you shut up?" Because I just can't, and I had like a really bad weekend with like this type of stuff anyway, and I just kind of lost my shit. So I don't feel good about that, but at the same time, like, who just goes up to somebody and just spouts opinions? I say as I'm on Twitter, like right now. I don't know where people get that kind of mentality, like that I care what you think about my hair.
I think my favorite Bree in public story, though, was the guy that wanted to lick your arm.
Oh my god.
Because of the donut?
So gross. Well, I have this whole junk food sleeve, okay? So,
Oh, is it Norcross that has the donut? Or do you have the donut?
no, I have the donut. He has coffee, which is, yeah, donut's coffee. So, is this the same one I'm thinking of? Because this happens a lot. I was at Universal and he had like a dog tattoo, and he goes, "Oh, my dog like wants to eat your arm," and he like made his arm tattoo attack my arm tattoo. It was a bad time. Was that the one you were thinking of, Jess? We go places together.
That is the one.
That is the one. It happens a lot. It's just I just like I'm not gonna go out in public anymore.
Bree, your audio is all of a sudden sounding like you've got a.
Oh, did it do the Robotron thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can unplug it and see if I can just use my mic.
Another fun fact about Bree that you don't know as it regards food: no matter how much she loves you, she will not share her nachos with you.
Respect. You don't share nachos.
There is no nacho cheese sharing. There is no nacho sharing. None.
I sat down at a restaurant last week, and I was with a colleague, and we both wanted nachos. And so we each ordered a plate of nachos, and she was like, "Well, they're pretty big. Do you want to split?" And first of all, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing a plate with a colleague. Like, I might think about it if it's a family member or something, but not just somebody I barely know. And secondly, I don't need help with a plate of nachos. I got that on the lockdown.
True.
So, yeah, so she brings these plates, finally, that are so big, and it's not big. And I'm like, maybe it's because I'm from Texas and this happened out of state, so maybe that looked like a big plate of nachos. But I'm like, if it doesn't sit on the table and the pile nearly get up to my mouth, it's not a big plate of nachos. So.
Are they ever big enough?
No, they're not. Well, we're not talking about Genesis at the moment, but we have had an important discussion about nachos. I did want to answer Jackie's question on an easy way to manage affiliate links on your site. There are lots of plugins. I happen to use the Featherlinks plugin by Cliff Griffin, and it's basically just a way to cloak. So instead of a big long share a sale link, I can say carriedills.com/go/whatever it is. The nice thing, that does two things. It makes your links more attractive, and then secondly, if your affiliate link ever changes, you don't have to go update it everywhere you've ever used it. You just update it in your plugin, and then all your custom links will redirect accordingly.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
You sound nice.
Sound better? I don't know. Every time after like a certain point with this headset, it just like robots out on me. Probably time for an upgrade.
Well, I just wanted to say also, StudioPress has simple URLs. We created that, and that can help with your affiliate link stuff too.
Good call. And simple URLs will also, I think, give a link count or a click count, which is handy. Let's see, a question from someone: will there ever be a book made by Genesis to build a child theme from scratch to include info about the hows and whys? I could see a third party doing that, but is that something that StudioPress would ever do in terms of...
Well, we have the beginner guide, which will pretty much get you most of the way. As far as the why, I mean, that's a question from your heart. And maybe you're a psychiatrist. I don't know. I mean, do you want to create a child theme? That's why.
No,
I've rendered you speechless.
I am. I didn't. There are multiple directions I could go, and I had to pause and think about which way to go with that. I think like the beginner guide is great, but it doesn't address from a technical perspective how you really deal with the framework in terms of custom theming. So I think that's probably more where that question was coming from as for the hows. Now the whys.
Yeah. The why.
We may never know.
Well, Gary has some really good stuff too. Gary J. He's got some really great guides out. Like you said, third party. You know, if you dig around and watch the Genesis WP hashtag, there are so many awesome resources. Our community is the best.
It's pretty cool. I have to admit.
How did you learn how to do it, Carrie?
From picking apart. Started with picking apart. I bought the developer pack from StudioPress to get access to all the themes, and then deconstructing, if you will, and seeing how they made those work, and then you know, hanging out on GitHub and looking at other developers' codes and figuring out how, or looking at how somebody's doing things and working backwards until it made sense to do that myself. Yeah. And the Genesis framework itself is documented so nicely that even if you just open up the code and start there, it's got a lot of great pearls of information. Yeah. There you have it. Let's see. Devinder wants to know when a new theme is coming from me and my partner Winning Agent. It's coming.
When, Carrie?
There is no specific date yet, as it's currently in development. I
never give dates for development ever.
Yeah, I would love to say end of summer, but you know, don't hold me to that. Let's see, and regarding lynda.com, last week I was out at their facilities getting to do a Genesis course, and there is no official ETA on that, but it's coming. I don't want to say too much, or I'll get called by a lawyer. But yeah, I hope those do well, and I'll just go ahead and say that if they do well, then I might get to go back and do more. So if you like them, support them. Let's see if I've missed some questions, which I'm sure that I have. Oh, and then Andrea has tweeted as well. Nick Croft's Genesis Explained series, which is fantastic. Thanks for reminding me of that. So to the fellow that was asking about a book made for how to build a Genesis child theme, that Genesis Explained series really plucks apart. What is an action hook and filters, and how do all those things work? And he does a good job with that. So check that out.
I'm so grateful for Andrea every day.
She is pretty wonderful. She's right up there on my list of favorite Canadians.
How long is that list, Carrie?
Justin Bieber and Andrea. That's her list. That's it. I knew it. I'm sorry just to blurt out your truth like that, but we all know.
The Biebs
Yeah.
is not. No, he's not on my list. Paul is commenting that the Genesis Simple URLs plugin hasn't been updated in a while, and that makes him nervous. Yeah, I totally get your point, but it's a pretty straightforward bit of code. I don't think that would make me nervous. If you installed it and had any sort of compatibility issues with recent versions, then Paul, I think you could get that addressed via a support ticket pretty quickly. Any additional thoughts to? But that said, there are other plugins. 302 redirects. Wow, are we all well? All right, thanks everybody. That's a joke.
Oh, it's like, are we done?
No, I'm keeping you hostage. Yes, Matt Medeiros, lawyer is the reason I don't say certain extra things.
I don't even know where you guys are seeing this. Is this all from the Twitter?
Yeah. It's this thing called Twitter.com, and you go sign up for an account.
It's gonna be big, Jess. It's gonna be huge.
It's like I think
it sounds like a fad.
Better than Facebook.
You know what? I've got a Friendster account, and that's fine.
Let's see. We did get some clarification on the question about the why, an explanation on why you should take certain steps. Yeah, okay, so for that, yeah, go back again to Nick's Genesis Explained series, because it really unpacks the some of the reasoning on the why. But even, if you're really wanting, I love Genesis, so I'm not pulling a Rob New out here, but if you want to go back to more just theming, like what it means to create a child theme in WordPress and how it's, the whys behind that, step outside of Genesis and check out the WordPress Codex on child theming to get kind of the 30,000 foot view, and then come back into Nick's series to see how that applies specifically in Genesis. Let's see, Bree, can you explain the process for, this is a broad question, for marketing a new plugin and specifically the Genesis Design Palette Pro plugin, or you could take one of your other plugins.
Generally, we're terrible at marketing, just period. I'm just going to own that. We're really bad at it. I don't know.
You're not.
Marketing a plugin is really hard. We have all the free ones. Those ones, we just really market on Twitter. I don't know, FAQ Manager, I think we have one that's like 60,000 downloads or something like that. But Twitter, Norcross has a lot of followers that wait for him to push free plugins all the time. For Design Palette, we tried marketing PPC. I think I was talking about this before. It was terrible. Because of you, Jess, I
helped.
compete with you. Yeah, I know you helped. But if you have, it's hard to say that it's hard to market a product. This is different because our plugin is tied to the most well-known framework in the industry and the best one. So it's kind of markets itself. If people are looking for Genesis stuff, period, they're going to find Design Palette. It's in the URL. So for that way, it just kind of did the work on its own. People searching for Genesis stuff organically found this, or I think, what did we do for marketing? We got like people looking for help with the Genesis hashtag. We use that on Twitter a lot. We pushed that out that way. And then we partnered with StudioPress again. So kind of cheating. This is such a big difference from, I think, any other plugin that we had. Like, we had 2 other plugins. We have Backstretch, just simple. It just does backstretch stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. And that one we marketed by, let's see, Twitter. That's about it. We have Ratings, which doesn't do super awesome, but it's kind of a one-hit thing. And then Design Palette. Those are only premium plugins. So to go from those and then have a Genesis-based product, it's a whole different world.
Because the other 2 are not Genesis specific.
Right, they're not Genesis specific, yeah.
Okay.
If I can be so bold, though, I would say that also builds on what you were talking about before, because it's not just Twitter, it's word of mouth. Right. Because he has built this relationship and authority in the community that people recommend it to other friends, and then they recommend it to their friends, and it spreads that way. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. I mean, if he didn't have that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying it just spreads like a disease.
Right. Yeah. If he didn't have the, I guess, reputation he would have, like, would Design Palette ever have gotten on StudioPress? Probably not. You wouldn't know who he was to ask or to get there. That would have never happened. So just constantly contribute. I think you were saying you wanted to talk more about how to contribute to the community after a certain point. Even people who, not only is it a really good way to become known in the community, but you also have to give back to this community who totally pays all our bills and helps everybody here on this show eat every day. So
yeah, and thanks for segueing me back into that conversation. But I got a great email from Angela, one of our Genesis Office Hours listeners. And we've talked in past episodes, we've been talking a lot about, and just general chatter on the internet about developers raising their prices or pushing the price up on premium themes and premium plugins, and the discussion of, do you just get to slap a higher price tag on it and call it a day, or how are you actually offering more value? And we've been approaching this from the developer or service provider's perspective, but her perspective was, as a customer, what is the when you buy a product or service, what's the added value that comes with it? And when you take Genesis, for example, let's say the Genesis framework is $69 plus whatever the cost of a child theme is, whatever. But when you buy that product, you're not just getting the product, you're actually inheriting this community of resources and people to interact with. That's a huge additional value. So anyways, figuring out ways to translate that kind of value to whatever products you're offering. So Bree, like in your guys' case, I know you've released a bunch of free extensions for Genesis Design Palette Pro, like the Google Fonts extensions and things like that are continue to add value for folks. Wow, I feel like I just talked a whole long time.
That's awesome.
Let's see, switching gears, Devinder wants to know if Genesis is planning an independent e-commerce solution besides what's integrated in the new Rainmaker.
We might be.
That's all you get to know, or the lawyers come calling. A question. So how does, like StudioPress, you have your, I'm going to ask you like a multi-part question, Jessica. When you go to the StudioPress website, there's the showcase, there's the themes, and then there's the recommended developer list. And how does one get to be in any of those three? Like, is a third-party theme, a recommended developer, or have a site in the showcase? Can you kind of hit on those?
I'm going to try to answer this with no sarcasm because I thought of like 100 responses that are not politically correct. To get into the showcase, you have to have an awesome website. Something that really reflects what Genesis can do. Simply dropping your content into a theme is fantastic, and you're going to have a gorgeous website just doing that, but that's not really what the showcase is for, because we have theme demos that do that. So really, if you have a site that's pretty awesome, just submit it to us in our contact form. There's actually just a little pull down that says, you know, showcase submission. To get onto the recommended developers, you really need to be active in the community. Brian Gardner hand selects who is listed on there. And, you know, while we love that so many people have, you know, created a theme, we want people who we feel comfortable recommending, truly. And, you know, those are people who not only have the talent and the skill, but really kind of follow our communal ethos and, you know, contribute. And then last, getting a theme for sale on the third-party website. That, again, is something that is decided by the partners. And that is a bit trickier, just because we have significantly limited the amount of third-party things that we're selling on our site. We used to have a ton. We had a whole marketplace, and we really pulled it back, so it's only the very best of the best, for a variety of reasons, most of which I'm not really, you know, it's nothing, you know, salacious, but it's not really my place to talk about it.
I'm going to dictionary.com right now. What is salacious?
This is what happens when you work with people that actually write. You pick up all these fancy words. But, you know, it's nothing like even gossip worthy, but we changed it, and it's just been better for all parties. But one of the biggest reasons was because, you know, we always talk about owning your domain. You know, and I guess in a way, we really wanted to put the focus on empowering developers to sell from their own website, not just from ours. And, you know, while we'll certainly send a ton of sales to people who are on our website, we don't necessarily need to sell every third-party theme that's available to get you what you deserve for your awesome work. So if you have a theme that could be considered, chances are you're already in touch with somebody over here. There's no real like submission form to get it considered for us to sell it.
All right. I put you on the hot seat there, but I think and Copyblogger's written some good posts about this in the past about building your product on someone else's domain. And I think Facebook is probably a really obvious example, but you know, if you've built some sort of a business on top of Facebook that relies on their infrastructure, that's where your customer contacts are, that's where your transactions are happening, and you know, the day that they change their terms of service or start charging you something you don't want to pay or whatnot, you walk away with nothing. And that's kind of an extreme example, but I could call out some businesses that have that model, and they'd be in a world of hurt if Facebook changed something. So I think that is a really valid point. I mean, like Bree was saying, of course, who doesn't want the promotion or the limelight associated with having some recognition officially from Studio Press, but really at the end of the day, it's about building your own brand and not piggybacking on someone else's. So there you have it. Soliloquy over.
Beautiful.
And I would like to say publicly that I love Rob New. If he doesn't get trolled on a episode of Office Hours, I feel like I failed.
We love him too, except when he doesn't love us. But that's,
Well, yeah, it just depends on how much coffee or sleep he's had.
I know.
That's going to be.
I know. You guys, everybody needs to stop sending Andrew and Bree stuff and just send him all your bacon, all of it.
Right.
All bacon. I'll publish his address in the show notes so that you can have bacon delivered there. A couple things before we wrap up. If you have any more questions, be sure and get it in. A reminder that here over the next couple of days, I'll get the show notes out with a recap of what we talked about and links to anything that we mentioned. Let's see what else. It's now we are on iTunes and also at SoundCloud. So if you want to listen after the fact, you can do that there. And
you
also
mentioned SoundCloud. I would have used my special voice.
I didn't realize you had a SoundCloud voice. Can we? Okay.
What was your job before this, Jess? What was your job?
Thank you for calling Copy Blogger. This is Jessica.
I don't even know what to say to that because that doesn't sound like. I mean, that's some sort of new media, but I don't know.
Customer service.
Would you like to make 35% commission on every sale?
Wow. Okay. Well, you heard it first here. There's a special SoundCloud voice. I've never met you ladies. Well, no, I have met you, Jessica, once. You came to Texas.
Yeah, I was going to say you were my bouncer. What are you talking about? I've never met you.
I was thinking in my head, and it came out wrong, that I've never gotten to hang out with both of you in person because you guys live in close proximity and are actually real life.
We're real life friends, and our sons are BFFs. So not only do we get to hang out with each other, but we get to witness their creepy, weird relationship blossom as they turn into tweens. And right now, Jess is mad at me because my son introduced her son to who was it?
Jason Derulo.
Not my fault. Not my fault. Not my fault. Not my fault.
Yeah, Joe walks around the house saying, "What you gonna do with that big fat butt?"
I don't know where he heard that.
Usually all episodes of Office Hours are rated acceptable for the family, but I may have to go back and change the rating on this one.
Sorry. You
know what? I think it will only drive viewership up.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize. This is who we are.
I think we're kind of tame, actually.
Well, before we go, I would love for you to tell people where they can find you online to stalk you or say thanks or just a hello. Jessica, how about you?
At Renewabelle on the Twitters. And also, just a quick shout. Seriously, you guys, you're why we do what we do. And if you are promoting us without an affiliate link, please stop it. Seriously, let us pay you for your awesome referrals. We want to give back, so don't be bashful. It's not dirty.
It's not. You can make 35%.
It's not dirty at all. Just go to studiopress.com/affiliates to learn more.
And you'll get an email, a personal email from Jessica every month. There you go. Bree, where can people track you down?
You can hunt me down on Twitter. If you would like to give me unsolicited opinions about my hair, I'm at Sarcasmically. Let's talk about my hair. No cuss words will come forth. maybe. And that's really it. I don't really spend any time anywhere else. It's all Twitter all the time.
All right. Well, you ladies are awesome, and I hope you will come back to Texas one of these days for a visit. And until then, I'll see you on the Twitters, because that's where we're from. We're from the Twitters.
That's where I live.
Yes.
That's where we live.
All right. Thanks to
having me, Carrie.
Yes, my pleasure, and thanks for everybody for participating over on the Twitter and sending in your questions. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.